What's up, YouTube? How you doing? So the Ohio Players album Honey, was it their peak? And if they had stopped with that album, did it solidify their legacy? Now the interesting thing is that they have released 3 albums between 74 and 75. The Fire album, the I want to say before we get to the Honey album, and they had another record out at the time. My brain's kind of going foggy right now. Skin Tight. That's what it was. See, I'm doing all this off the top of the dome. Happen to remember and going back and forth. But the Honey album, which was their best-selling record, was considered a great album. The ironic thing is, though, when we talk about the Fire album, Fire, the title track, has become like the money track, which has been sampled and used galore. But the Honey album, which contained Sweet Sticky Thing, which was huge, and then, of course, Love Roller Coaster, which has been sampled, looped, covered, etc., is a household song. So, interestingly, they put out 3 albums in a year and a half window. That's back when artists used to do that, especially funk band, being prolific, productive, different era, different time. And the Honey album was a strong album, showcasing their songwriting, their humor, and their blend of funk, R&B, blues, soul, gospel, and jazz. Because if you listen to the Ohio Players, they were one of those bands that had a distinctive tone about them. Yes, they were cut from the Sly Stone school, but believe me, they had an interesting aura and a mixture about them. When you listen to their Westbound era records as opposed to what they did on Mercury Records, they were like two different bands, but it was still in the same vein. Of course, the album covers got President because of the women on the covers, and a lot of people get caught up in that. But if you listen to the playing of the music, and a lot of stuff was tongue-in-cheek by calling themselves the Ohio Players and scantily clad women on the cover, they more than made up for it. But did the Honey album solidify them? Did the Honey album secure their legacy with people? I ask that because they, even though they were respected, and the people in the know they respected, they've never gotten their full due. I think is one of the greatest bands ever. They're one of my favorite bands ever. The musicality speaks for itself. You know, I always said Sugarfoot, Leroy Bonner is one of the baddest leaders ever, as a guitarist, as a vocalist. And I always said that the Players were pretty much like the black version of the Rolling Stones, if you get to it, because they cut from the same cloth, except the where they came from. But when you hear Far East Mississippi, when you hear the picking and the grooving and the humor and the tone, and you know where it come from. So the Honey album was a very strong, cohesive record. It's like they learned they knew how to make albums that could appeal, but they could also keep the funk. They could keep the groove. They didn't lose their soul in it. And those harmonies were no joke. So when you hear the musicality, you have to appreciate the horn licks, the arrangements, the time, the tempo. They were one of the baddest to ever do it. So the question is, did the Honey album, was it their prime and their peak? And did they solidify their legacy with that album? That's pretty simple. Because if you listen to it, you'll either feel that, hey, yeah, they did the thing. Or you might feel that, hey, maybe there was another album by theirs. Or maybe you didn't feel that they quite hit it. It's going to be interesting in the feedback when I hear this. But I think the Honey album secured that legacy. I think they did the thing. And I think they were one of the baddest bands ever. And I still listen to their old records. I still enjoy what they did. They're one of my favorite bands ever. Versatility, very talented, funny, humor, funk, you name it. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.